everyone. Welcome to our first day of at-home Pilates. I'd like to show you just a couple of things that you can use from your house to modify, in the event that you don't have some equipment. I've got this old pillow, it says relax, and I'm going to be folding it in two to kind of give you that sense of holding on to the little mini ball. Also, I've got a towel here, and it can be a little longer, whatever you find comfortable. Just go ahead and roll it up, and we're going to be using that not necessarily as a resistance band, but something to hold on to, and just so we can activate certain areas of the upper body, especially our scapula. Okay. Also, I know we don't use weights in class, but we've got just some empty water bottles here, our beverage container, and I filled them with water, and they weigh about 1.3 pounds. So if you have something a little larger, if you want a little more weight, or you'd like to use maybe something about 1 pound. I'd say for Pilates purposes, 1 to 2 pounds is a really nice weight. We don't want to go anything heavier than about 3 pounds max, just because of the shoulder issues. Okay, so we'll get started here. We're going to start with a nice classic warm-up, and we're going to hold on to our pillow as our replacement for our little ball. You're going to roll your shoulders down and back, lengthen through the spine. We've got this nice open diamond position. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to squeeze against your pillow, towel, ball, whatever you've got there. And I want you to identify your lats, just like we normally do in class. As you inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, squeeze, belly goes into the back. Again, identifying the lats and feeling the deepest layer of your abdominals engaging. One more breath. Full breath in, and again, the shoulders are down, the neck is long. Make sure you're sitting tall. Inhale, we're going to add on. As you exhale, I'm going to have you press your fingertips forward, and inhale. I want you to pull back, working both directions. Exhale as you press front. Inhale, and then exhale, pull back. Let's make this a 2 breath. Inhale here. Exhale, press. Inhale, pause. And exhale, pull it all the way back. Retracting the scapula. One more time. And hold it right there. We're going to hold the arms directly in line with the shoulders. Reposition those shoulder blades. I'm going to have you exhale, press the scapula back, keeping the arms long. Inhale, reaching forward. Continue. Squeezing the scapula, retracting, like you're wrapping your scapula around toward the center of the spine. Make sure your breath facilitates the move. This will be the last one. And I'd like you to hold this one. You're going to inhale, you're going to float the arms up. And exhale, press down. Now I'm going to turn sideways. You continue. So you can see that my ear, shoulder, and hip are all in one line. And you want to make sure that pelvis is, again, in that neutral position. Float the arms up. And exhale, press down. Inhale. And exhale. All right, one more time. And I'm going to have you hold the arms directly in line with the shoulders. Again, inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to roll off the sits bones, scooping out the abdominals, reaching the arms forward, eyes to the belly, and inhale, restack, articulating the spine as you come up. Exhale, squeeze against that pillow, towel, whatever you've got there, and inhale. Do a little pelvic mobilization. You see that scoop of the belly. As you go into your C-curve position, the belly goes down and deep. Inhale. Good. Now we're going to add on. As you exhale, I'm going to have you hold that position and reach a little more out and forward, like a mini spine stretch forward. And I'm going to offer up some other variations. You can have your knees bent, curving, rolling off the sits bones. For those who are a little more flexible, go ahead and extend your legs. It's optional as long as you can have your ear, shoulder, hip all in one line. And reach forward, keeping the arms as parallel to the legs as possible. Inhale, slowly peel up. Let's do 2 more. If you'd like to add on there a little challenge, flex the toes as you reach over. You're gonna wake up those hamstrings. One more. And slowly peel up. Again, focusing on spinal flexion. Let's do a little lateral flexion. So you can have your towel, pillow, whatever you've got there. You can have your arm floating to the side for a little challenge, hip or on the floor, just to start. As you exhale, you're going to press the arm down into your towel or pillow and inhale. We'll do 2 more. And feel that lat glide. On this next one, we're going to go into our lateral flexion. So lift the arm up and over without flexing the spine frontally, more laterally. So we sit up tall. Think of lifting the rib up and over. Exhale, ear toward the shoulder, long through the neck. And if you had a little ball, you would be rolling that ball. If you've got a ring here, you can just hold on to the ring and gently press into it. If you got nothing, this is what it looks like. All right, on this last one, we're going to hold it. Hold it there. You're going to curve and scoop through the belly, slowly reaching around to the opposite side. And let's begin. Inhale. And press down into the floor, or if you'd like to grab that pillow again. By the way, that does work nice for activating the lat. And here we go. Float the arm up. Inhale. Going into our lateral flexion. Feel that rib drive down toward the hip. Think of lifting up and over. Arm reaches, floats. Last 2. Make sure your opposite hip is nicely anchored so we don't have that hip elevation. All right, hold this one. Curve and scoop. Reach all the way around. You can let go of your towel or pillow. Inhale. We're going to go around the world. Inhale. Up and over. Curving, scooping. So we're focusing on spinal mobility here. Coordinated with the breath. One more each direction. Okay, I know that spine feels nicely warmed up, so now we're going to go to our backs. So let's kind of scoot facing the end of your mat. And make sure you've got something between the knees. Again, this pillow is working very nicely. So the legs are about hip width, as we always do. And I want you to sit up as tall as you can. Remember, we don't want to hinge back here. If you have to, you can lengthen those legs a little bit more. Holding onto the knees gently. Inhale as you prepare, and exhale, slowly take it down. Go extra slow, squeezing. Hold it there just for a moment. Inhale really big, and exhale, slowly peel up. Little challenge, bring your arms in front of you. And we're taking it down no more than about a half at this point. 2 more, squeeze. Activating that inner thigh, which activates the pelvic floor, which in turn activates that transverse abdominis. Scoop out the belly. Roll those shoulders down. Good. We're going to add rotation now. Inhale and exhale. Make sure your feet are planted. If you'd like to place your hand behind the thigh, inhale. Exhale and rotate. Eyes follow the fingertip. Come back to center and slowly peel up. Sit up tall, restack each time, looking directly forward. Exhale, tuck and peel, hold just for a moment. Reach. Slowly rotate back to center and peel up. Let's do that one more on each side. Exhale. Maybe a little quicker. If that's too much resistance, show you a nice variation. And pull the elbow back. Remember, we're warming up now, so just flexion with rotation. Good. On the inhale, we're going to hold it here. On the exhale, squeeze whatever you've got there. Squeeze and breathe. Little challenge, no hands. Squeeze. Watch that belly go down and deep. Last two. Last one. Big breath in. Exhale, slowly peel up. All right, we're gonna go all the way down this time. Arms up, optional. If you need that help, remember your hands are behind your thighs. Exhale, slowly peel, keeping the arms as high as possible, lowering if necessary, walking your hands down your thighs if needed, peeling, low back, mid back, upper back, neck, and then head. Okay, make sure you feel centered. Okay, we can keep our little towel or pillow, whatever we've got there between the thighs. Hold it here for a moment. Place the hands on their ribs. We're just going to squeeze whatever you got there and release. Again, activating the inner thigh, pelvic floor. Focus in on a little pelvic stability here. Finding the pelvic floor, rib cage knits. Full breath out. All right, let's bring our arms to the side. On the next one, we're going to hold that squeeze and do a little pelvic mobilization again, practicing what we call spinal imprint. Inhale, neutral. Make sure the neck is nice and aligned, and that's chin and forehead in the same plane. Make sure we do that little glute check. So when you do your imprint, you're actually not tucking and squeezing the glutes. Feel that low back imprint, belly goes to the back. We'll do one more. Staying wide across the shoulders, collarbone is open. Good. Let's bring our heels just a little closer, so they're underneath the knee. We're going to go into that tuck. Now squeeze the glutes. Slowly roll up into our shoulder bridge, pressing evenly into both feet. At the top here, let's just hang out as we make sure our body weight is across our shoulders, not on our neck or our head. Our arms are reaching long. There's a nice chest expansion here, so reach those arms long without pressing into the mat. Take your biggest breath in. Keep the ribs closed, hips high for a moment, and exhale, reverse our articulation. And we'll continue. Again, squeezing the inner thigh, pelvic floor, transverse abdominis. Exhale, slowly tuck and peel, driving through the heels, warming up those hamstrings and glutes, warming up the spine. Take a breath in, check for neutral, and exhale, peel down. We'll do two more at this nice slow pace. And I'm going to offer up some variations for you. For those who'd like a little challenge today, you're welcome to bring your arms to the ceiling and hold it there. And exhale. If you find yourself wobbling around, bring your arms back down to the mat. Exhale, tuck and peel. And inhale, slowly return. Good, we're going to add some arms here. The next time we're going to come up, we're going to tuck and peel up. The arms are going to go down, palms down. And fingertips float up as the hips slowly go back. And if you don't want to add the arms, you don't have to. Squeeze, lift, close the ribs. Good. Stay wide across the chest, neck long. And once you've got this movement down, you feel the coordination. Try to focus on breath. All right, we're going to do one more and hold it up. The arms can be up or down. I'm going to let you guys decide that. And you're just going to squeeze, release. So squeeze the pillow, ball, towel, whatever you've got there, holding the hips high, coordinated with that breath. Belly drives down and deep. Two more full presses. Squeeze. And hold it. Take a big breath in and slowly peel down. Good. All right, you can tuck the knees into the chest for a moment. Take a little mini break. And we're going to do something just a little different. Okay, if you have light handheld weights, I would recommend no more than 1, 2, or 3 pounds. These would be great. But for our purposes today, we're going to be using our water bottles because we want to use what we have at the house. Okay, so we're going to get our arms in what we call a chest press position, like a push-up. Feet exactly where they were before, underneath the knees. You're going to hold a neutral spine this time. As you exhale, you're going to lift up and press. Keeping the hands in line with the shoulders, and inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Now this might not seem like a lot of resistance. So you want you to really fight that resist. Pressing up, resisting gravity and our light handheld weights, and then resisting as you come on down. Maintaining this nice neutral spine. And inhale. Exhale. On this last one, we're going to hold it up. Hold it up. Turn your palms to face each other. In fact, go ahead and touch your hand weights or whatever you've got there together. You're going to open up your elbows. You're going to slowly lower the hips and go into what we call hug a tree arms. Squeeze and lower. Hips are neutral. And you can go halfway down or tailbone taps to the ground. Resisting. Try to keep under control. So maintain your pace. Same pace up, same pace down. Last two. Squeezing from the center line of the chest. And I want you to hold it up in this nice static bridge. Okay, we're going to slowly separate the arms. Bring the arm right down in line with the hip and the opposite arm in line with its same side ear. And then alternate this. And you can really start feeling those shoulders. Make sure the arm doesn't go too low. If that bothers you, feel free to bring the hips down all the way. Maybe no weights here. Make sure you resist and lengthen the arms and exhale. One more on each side. Good. Bring both arms up and slowly melt it on down. Excellent job, everybody. Let's go ahead and take your pillow or whatever you've got there out. Go ahead and rock side to side. We're going to do a little hamstring stretch. And we're going to use our towel. Okay? So if you have a towel with you, most of you will, dig it out of the closet. And again, a longer towel would probably be a little nicer here, depending on your flexibility. So think of this like our stretching strap or maybe the ring in its place. You're going to tuck the knee into the chest and lengthen. Give me a little flex point. Tuck in, lengthen, flex point. Spine is neutral, tailbone is heavy. If you tuck too much, the leg comes too forward, you're in that little curve position and you will not feel a hamstring as much as I'm feeling this here. All right, last one. Good, let's switch it out. Placing that foot right on the towel, or again, you might have a resistance band at home, use it. Okay, here we go. Bend the knee, lengthen up, and add a little flex point. Shoulders are down even during stretches. You still coordinate it with the breath. Good. All right, let's take that all the way down, and we're going to work a little core right now, some abdominals. Let's start with our hands down at our side. And check to make sure we're neutral. Always start from a neutral space. Chin in line with the forehead. If you find your chin is up here, remember, we would like for maybe, you can use either your pillow again, as long as your ear is in line with the shoulder, just like we talk about in class. So feel free to use that. All right, let's get ourselves back into position. You're going to do a cervical knot. Let's do 2 of these as a preparation. So you're just lengthening through the back of the neck, Notice I'm not picking the head up, but I feel a nice stretch in the back of the neck all the way down between my blades. All right, go ahead and hold that. Fingertips on the ground. You're going to slowly float the head, neck, and shoulders up, and keep your neutral space here. You're not going to come up very high. Knitting the ribs, driving the hips toward, ribs toward the hips, and slowly down. Be aware of your chest. Exhale, so we don't internally rotate here. This tends to happen. Maybe we got the shrug going on, or we kind of leave our head back. We don't want to do that. So make sure you go back to that original neutral position each time. Exhale, tuck and peel. Think of reaching your fingertips forward, legs stay anchored. And if anybody, keep it going. If anybody likes here, and I do like to, you'd like to use your towel, put it between the knees. If you have a yoga brick, you know that works really nicely as well, helping us find that pelvic floor. If you have any equipment at home, please use that. All right, on this next one, we're going to hold it up. If you feel any neck strain, place one or both hands behind, but note that that adds extra resistance. Here we go. Lift. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to hold this one up. Reach the arms forward. Return the arms and peel down. 4 more of those. Exhale, lift up, hold, squeeze. And squeeze whatever you've got there. Belly goes in, reaching the arms and peel down. 3 more. If you feel a little shaky, maybe you need a break. Notice the arm change. It changes the resistance. Gets a little easier temporarily, a little harder temporarily. Good. And take a little mini break. Lengthen the arms. Open up the rib cage. All right, we're going to keep our legs exactly where we are, and then we're going to add a little oblique challenge here. So let's bring, for now, both hands behind the head, and I'd like the elbows to slightly float off the floor. So check for neutral to start, because when the shoulders are back here, the blades are not in the right spot. So reposition that elbow slightly up, tucking the chin, and I want you to lift up, hold center. Place one hand, don't worry about which one it is, okay? You're going to take the opposite rib of the hip that you're going toward. Reach at that diagonal without letting your hips move, and slowly down. As an example, if my left hand was down, my right rib would roll toward my left hip, making sure the hips do not wobble. Let's go a little quicker now. Lift up, exhale. Feel the fingertips slide. They slide forward first and into your diagonal because you've got that rotation. Good. Now I'd like to add on here a little bit. Exhale, come up, and I'd like you to hold one just for a second here as you lengthen the opposite leg. So it would be my right leg with my left hand, and slowly bring it down. Same thing. Lengthen, rotate. Check and make sure the hips are not wobbling. You have your flexion and then blending in a rotation. Last one, and we're going to hold it up. Reach the arm across and little pulses here. If you'd like to, you can take your opposite hand, a little head support. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Shoulder down, reach a little higher, full breath out, and slowly bring it down. Good. Same thing, starting over other side, opposite hand. On the floor. Inhale, elongate, exhale, tuck and peel. Hold it up there for a moment. Rib toward the opposite hip without letting the hips wobble. Flexion before the rotation. Now notice when your legs are a little bit more narrow, you might tend to wobble a little. So maybe you take the towel out or whatever you've got there and widen your stance. That's going to help you. And if you have a wider base of support, it's going to make it a little easier to perform. Again, make sure the hips are not shifting around. If you had that leg together position, we're going to add the leg in opposition. Here we go. Opposite. As you rotate toward the right, it's the left leg, or reverse it. Squeezing those knees together. Maybe you're hinging from the knee. That leg does not wobble up or down. Use that breath. Good. On this next one, hold it up. Reach. You can put that leg down if that's too challenging. Steady breathing. 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Come a little higher. And take a stretch. Let's go into a nice butterfly stretch, soles of the feet together. You can bring your arms at your side. You can make goalpost, or maybe just reaching overhead. A little challenge is to go into what we call eagle arms, palms together, closing the ribs, making sure your spine is neutral. Relax through the hips. Steady breath. Think of elongation here. All right, go ahead and lengthen your arms and your legs, rolling your shoulders down and back. I want you to imagine you're the rope, tug of war, and you're being pulled in opposite directions, keeping the rib cage closed. A lot of times we pop the rib, so remember, that's no longer a neutral space. Close the ribs, elongate, and breathe from here. We're going to reach through our side body, so right side, fingertips reaching, toes in opposition. Alternate this. One more on each side. Good. Okay, we're going to practice our roll-ups together, rolling your shoulders down and back, tucking the chin. We're going to start with either our arms overhead or to the ceiling. We're going to slowly peel up. Right when you're in this full kind of curl up position, make sure the belly goes down and deep. Anchor the legs, reaching over the toes, staying nice and curved. This is our roll up. You're going to stay curved and slowly peel down, keeping the legs anchored. Now I'm going to show you some options for those of you who do get stuck. Obviously a band helps, a really long towel might help. If you get stuck right here, grab your thighs, use your upper body, curve, just so you get a stuck position, let go, and continue. Start rolling it back, and peel down. As the spine peels down, you exhale. Good. Here comes the breath. Inhale, the arms float to the ceiling. Exhale, the spine lifts off. You continue your exhale. Inhale, start rolling back, and exhale, peel down. Good. Legs are long and strong. This can be done in a bent knee fashion, doing half rolls. So if you just hate the full roll up, we've done these in class before, where you just go down into the half roll. We did it also at the beginning of today's session. All right, we're going to add on full length, active position. Tuck the chin, slowly peel up. You can add flexion of the feet for a little challenge. This time we're going to slowly peel up. I'm going to have you hinge back. We've done this, I think, 1 or 2 times in class. And exhale, slowly peel down. Think everything smooth and controlled. Flexing the feet, restep. Restacking, arms up, optional. Hinge just before you feel your legs are going to come off. Start that curve. 3 more times. Notice how you will move here, so if I'm coming out of the camera, I'll have to readjust on this next one. Restack, arms up is only optional. If you struggle, grab your thighs, hinge, and peel down. Keep going, everybody. I'm going to reposition myself. Scooping, reaching, curving, heels reaching with the toes, bellying opposite. Restack, arms up, optional, and melt it down. All right, this one will be the last. Elongate here, exhale. Reaching forward. A little farther, feel the length in the back of the legs. Restack, arms up, hinge, optional, and melt it on down. Great. Okay, let's go ahead and roll over to prone position. We'll keep it without equipment. This is nothing new. We're going to warm up the back side. Our extensors, all our posture muscles also. So take your hands right under the shoulders. The elbows are going to stay on the mat. Head, neck is nice and neutral. Wide or hip distance. Wide is easier. And make sure your belly is lifted. The top of the hip bone is slightly off the mat. And you're pressing your pubic bone gently into your mat. Inhale. As you exhale, without looking up, you're going to lengthen, maybe look at the top of the mat. And notice for the most part, my neck is relatively neutral. There's a slight extension. Think of bringing the belly up, the rib cage off the mat. So make sure you're doing that. Try not to use your upper body to push you up, just there for support. And let's progress you. Okay? The arms can go behind. Fingertips reaching toward the heels. You might lose a little height, but that's okay. If you feel a little pinching sensation in your low back, it just reminds you that your belly did not come to the party. So draw that belly up and in. Try to now extend a little more through the thoracic spine. That's that upper back area. Gentle through the neck. Make sure you don't feel this in the back of the neck. Last 2. Good. Legs are long, they stay on the ground. Okay, before we move on, I want to stretch that. Push yourself up and just do a quick cat-cow. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, belly is lifted. Notice the difference, okay? Make it nice and flat, like you're going to serve tea on your back. All right, eyes looking down, right between the hands. Inhale to prepare, elongate. Exhale, tuck and curve the spine. This is that flexion. Belly goes up and in. Eyes looking through the legs. And let's pass through center and lengthen out. You can do these first few extra slow. Stretching the belly, flexing your extensors, looking gently forward, not upward. Think of pushing your hands and upper body away from your mat. The elbows are soft. And let's just do one more. Fill up, everybody. Exhale. It just should feel nice. All right, let's go ahead and climb on down again. And clear your full side position here in T. Okay? You scoot up a little bit. All right, roll your shoulders down and back. Let's for now keep our fingertips on the ground. This is going to be a little harder. Inhale to prepare. Exhale into your extension. Okay? If that feels okay for you, you can, and you'd like to progress it, the palms are now off the mat. On this next one, we're going to hold it up. We're going to add a little rotation. So you're going to slowly rotate from the waist. One hand will go toward the floor. The other one slightly open. Eyes follow. Back to center and lower. And we'll alternate that. Exhale. Lengthen. If this is not a comfortable exercise for you, you can go back to something we did earlier. Maybe reach behind you. Maybe you have a shorter lever here, which is going to make it a little easier. Good. If you have a nice band or a long towel, you can use that. So we want to think outside of the box when we're working out here at home. What do I have at home that can be modified for equipment? Up and rotate. Now hold it up and we're just going to rotate. 2, 2, 1, 1, hold, bring it down, slide your hands in. And now this time, instead of going into our cat-cow, let's do a nice little stretch here, our shell stretch, rolling your shoulders down and back. And this one, what you'd like to do is feel the rib cage expand in your back, these shorter ribs in the back. As you take your biggest breath in, feel it expand. One more full breath. Good. All right, now this can be done with equipment. If you have a light handheld weight, go ahead and put it behind your knee, okay? If you have the ball, it works as well, and I would assume that this would work as long as it doesn't slip out. So I'm going to use my weight. Ball works really nicely. We've done that in class. Belly is lifted back to our quadruped position. Give it a little hug. You're going to lift up the leg. And again, certainly no equipment works well. Make sure you place your shin and top of the foot down, eyes looking directly in line with your fingers. All right, here we go. Inhale. As you exhale, I'm going to have you lift up the opposite arm. So if you've got the right leg up, it's the left arm. Good. We're just holding this position. Flex your foot. If you've got equipment there, give it a hug. Hips are square, shoulders square, neck neutral. Good. All right, you're going to curve the spine, driving your elbow toward the hip and nose toward the knee, and lengthen out. Flexion extension with a little balance challenge. Think of bringing your footprint toward the ceiling. Remember, you're not going into extension here, so you don't want to dump the belly down, okay? Finish in long neutral. Good. One more time. Hold it all the way long, and we're going to pulse. You can pulse just the leg, just the arm, or both. 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Now just bring the arm down. This is different, everybody. Keep a hold of your leg. Keep it elevated and externally rotate, okay? Imagine that you've wrapped your leg around a pole and you're going to lower the leg. Your ankles will cross and lift up. Now make sure your hip doesn't open up. This is important. So getting those outer hips firing. The elbows are soft, the neck is long, belly drives down and deep. Again, if you've got that little extra weight, it certainly adds a little extra something there. Last one, and hold it up. I'm going to do a little set of pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it and lower. Great job, everybody. I felt it. Send those hips back and to the side you just worked. I believe these are 2 pounds, so I felt it. Remember, the key is control. Lightweight is always better for Pilates. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other leg. Get yourself into position. Hands into the shoulders, neck long, belly is lifted. Even, you might feel like you're straight here, but if you looked in a mirror, you wouldn't be, okay? So make sure that you're doing that. All right, make sure the shin and top of the foot is on the mat. You're gonna lift up the leg without changing the position of the spine and pelvis. That's the hard part. All right, you're welcome to stay here or add. Okay, here we go. Ready? We're just gonna hold it. A little cramp. Remember, we hold the position, we don't hold our breath. Shoulder is down. Again, if you're feeling a little crampy, you might not want to use the weight. And what would help that, just in case, because this one is slightly getting me, is not flex so much. So you'd have it more at that 90-degree position. Adding that weight and bringing your heel in extra close is going to fire that hamstring a little more. So we'll see how that goes here. All right, you guys ready to add flexion of the spine? Scooping up through the abdominals. Now, if you're not incorporating your breath, you're not feeling what I'm feeling. Remember, that belly goes up to the back of the spine. Activating the transverse. If you get that full breath out, it really gets it down and deep. Hold it up and pulse. Just the arm, just the leg, or both. Again, footprint on the ceiling. So far, so good. Good. Hold it. Bring the arm down. Nothing should change. Turn the knee out. It's like your leg is wrapping around a pole. Lower lift. And I'm going to take my weight out on this side for some reason. This also can be done as a challenge. So if you don't have equipment, you might want to lift up that opposite arm just to add a little extra fun. Lower lift. Good. Hold it up, little pulses. And try it without that arm support. Steady breath. Hold. Good job. Send the hips all the way back, everyone. Allowing the hip to go to the side you just worked, armed in the opposite. Okay. Good. Let's come back to center, a little child's pose. If you'd like to open up the legs a little bit, that's a nice variation. All right, let's go into a single leg kick. It's a classic Pilates exercise. I'll show you two variations, maybe a third. Okay, so if you have your hands stacked or make a little diamond position, your forehead would be right in the middle. Again, the shoulders are down and deep, belly is lifted. You're gonna look up and then just activate. You're looking maybe about a foot out in front of your fingers here, maybe 10 inches or so. Okay, that's level one. If you'd like a tougher variation, you're going to go to your elbows. Arms are in a parallel position, and you we can be on the knees or toes, of course. All right, those who would like a little challenge, go ahead and pop up to that full position. All right, I'm going to show it in the bent knee variation. Legs are glued together. You're going to flex one leg, pump it 2 times, lengthen it as if there's a spring between your heel and hip, and alternate that. Belly is lifted. Try to keep your head, neck, and neutral. Flex, pump 2, point, bring it down. Flex, pump, point, resist, bring it down. This doesn't feel like a lot, but if you'd like the challenge, lift up. Here we go. Pump 2, changes everything. Flex, point, flex, point. 2 more on each. Challenge yourself. If you'd like to see change in your body, remember you must challenge. 1 more. Hold, shoulders down, just a classic plank, knees or toes. One more full breath, everybody. You can do it. Walk your hands back for another child's pose. Good. All right, we're going to go to seated and do some straight leg lifts. Okay? No equipment required. I'm going to have you sit up nice and tall, and you can use your hands behind you. If you can go down to your full palms, that's probably better, unless you're okay here with fingertips. Okay, do the best you can. You can also have a knee bent, also a little external rotation, which kind of relieves the hip flexor. So if you're feeling it there, that's what I like to do. So sit up nice and tall. You're going to lift up the right leg and then alternate. Nothing else moves. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Let's make it a 2-count pump. Pump, 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 pump. Full breath, 1 on each side. Good. Now 3 count to finish. 3, 2, 1. Lower slowly. Exhale. And inhale, lower. One more. On each side, of course. Good. And let's do a quick forward fold, bending the knees softly if you need. Roll those shoulders down and back. Scoop up through the abdominals. If you'd like to do an alternating flex point that really gets it deep into the hamstrings. All right, slowly peel all the way up. And we're going to do a little sideline today. Okay? So go ahead and lie all the way down. We're not going to use any equipment unless you'd like your pillow or your towel as a head support. So I'll just keep it there for later. Okay? Personally, I just like to use my hand. I'm going to angle my feet to the front corner. Move a shoulder to the back edge of the mat. We've done this in class, usually with equipment though. So take your hand right here in front of you. Make sure you're not pitching forward or back, and try not to use that hand too much. Okay, if you need a little help because you're wobbly, you bend the bottom knee. So knee bent, or it's straight. Ankles, hips, everything's stacked. Here we go. Lift up the leg. We're going to hold it here. We're going to slowly float it forward. Pump 2, point the toe, press back without letting anything move. Pump 2, and flex. Flex as you bring it forward, point as you bring it back. Use that breath. And if you're more flexible and your core is strong and stable, you can bring it more forward. It's up to you. If you find yourself, this is what typically happens, we pitch. And 2 more, roughly about 8 to 10 on each. It's up to you. All right, realign the leg. You're going to lower it and lift it. Remember, we don't want to roll the hip back, so higher is not better. So find that distance is higher than the hip, maybe a little higher. Just make sure you don't roll back. Here we go. And 8 to 10. Think of lifting the leg and lowering it slowly. Exhale up. Inhale lower. Think of lifting that waist off the mat. If you feel the movement in the pelvis, don't lift it up as high. Remember, when the legs move, the hips do not. All right, hold it up. I'm going to do a little set of pulses here if you'd rather have a flex or a pointed. As long as you don't have floppy feet. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to hold this. Get ready. You're going to draw the knee toward your shoulder. Now, this time, instead of pressing it over your opposite leg, it's going to go in line with the hip. So it's being pressed back toward the end of your mat. Ready? Here we go. Knee, lengthen out. Knee, lengthen out. Knee, lengthen out. flex point, you can flex. I like to point and flex, have a little fun. Good. Last one. Now, we're going to do something a little different today. Tuck the knee in, lengthen it forward, circle around, bend, push it out in front. Range of motion is going to be determined by your core stability and your flexibility, about 5 in each. All right, now we're going to reverse that. Bring it forward, bend, press behind you. Watch my props. Again, these are called bicycles. Last one, hold it behind you. Turn your toes down. Tap 3, 2, 1. Lift, now tap in front. 2, 3, lift. Tap, 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 lift. Tap, 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 lift. Concentrate on that movement. It's very deliberate and precise. 3 little taps. Last one, hold. All right, you can keep your toe exactly where it is. We're going to lift up the lower leg. Now this might feel a little awkward for some of you, okay? So turn your heel up. If it does, I have another variation. You're going to lift up the leg. We've done this in class with the band. If that's kind of weird for you, you can bring the leg in front and just do a leg lift here, okay? Either way, it all gets the job done. Lift. This one's a little more challenging. Obliques, belly down and deep. Hold it up, little pulses. Try not to wobble. Hold it and lower. Good. Tuck the top knee in. Give it a little bit of a stretch. Roll it up. We'll stretch out a little more afterward. Lie all the way down. Get yourself situated, laying your toes to the front edge. Work your shoulder to the back. Use your pillow or not, okay? You can also lie all the way down on your arm. The key here is setting up. Remember, we've talked about this in class, that little mouse hole. So you don't want to be super relaxed, your belly lifted. This tiny little space, even if it's ever so slight. Hip stacked, ankle stacked. Lift up the leg, bending the bottom knee as needed. It's active. Pump 2. Press back. Pump 2. You can add the flex point if you like. Just make sure your spine is stable. Remember, spine and stable, spine and hip stable while the leg moves. Think of the air as really thick. In line with the shoulder if you can. Last 2. Realign the leg. Let's go into our leg list. Lower without letting it rest. Do this first one and hold it, okay? Just make sure the toes aren't up, okay? Parallel, I like down just a little bit. Here we go. Lift and lower. Parallel or slightly downward. Nice and controlled. Make sure you don't swing it up. One per breath. Let's hold this one up, little pulses. If anybody'd like a challenge on this second side, hand behind the head. This way that removes your support arm. Hold, tuck your knee in toward the shoulder. Look how hard this is. And press away. Remember, it's in line with the hip, not in line with that bottom leg. Knee, press, flex, or flex point, or just point. Two more. Now hold this one forward. I'm going to ask that you put your hand back down because you might need it. You're going to lengthen out and bicycle around. Make it deliberate. precise movement. Make sure you're not wobbling. Okay, we're ready. Let's go the other direction. Bring it forward. Bend the knee, heel to the butt, lengthen behind you. Last one. Hold it behind you. Turn your toes down. Pump, 2, 3, lift. Hot potatoes. These are called. Don't ask me why. Lift. A little more percussive move. Up, quick. Do, up. Lift. One more. Finish it. Hold. Okay. Anchor that toe. Bottom leg. We can do some inner thigh lifts. Rotate the heel up, the toes down. Remember your variation. Just bring that leg in front. Same thing. Okay. Lift without rolling back. Try not to use this hand too much, but it's there as needed. Use that breath. Lift as if the breath is lifting that leg. One more time, we're going to hold it up. Little pulses, like the upper half of your range of motion. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, everybody. Good. Let's go ahead on our backs. Lie all the way down. Tuck both knees into the chest. You can rock side to side. Let's do a little stretching. Lower the right leg, cross the left ankle above the knee, square off the hip, flex the foot, roll those shoulders down and back. Hold it there. Again, check to make sure you're nice and neutral, pushing the knee away. All right, when you're ready, lift up the lower leg. You might imprint a little bit here, but keep your tailbone anchored. You can reach for the thigh or the shin. Shoulder is down. Flexing the foot, left foot, actually I like both. Deepen the stretch, drawing that knee in a little closer. If you'd like to add the hamstring, lengthen that bottom leg. All right, these are static stretches. Every exhalation, deepen the stretch. Inhale slightly, release that stretch. Elongate the spine and deepen the stretch. Focus on your form. All right, bending that lower leg. You're going to cross the leg like you're sitting in a chair. Open up the arms. Okay, we're going to do a little weighted spine twist. So if you've got your left leg, you're going to cross over to the right side of your body, looking over the left arm. Remember, your twist isn't just low back, it's the full spine. So elongate and rotate. It includes the neck. So think of bringing the ear cheek toward the mat. And maintain your breath. You can feel the difference here. Weighted spine twist, the weight of the legs with the cross just adds a little more. Good. On your next inhalation or exhalation, bring it back through center. And let's switch it out. Realign, so important. Cross, hip square, push the knee away without letting the hip drop with the push. Good. You might feel it right there, and this is where you hang out, depending on how tight your hips are. Good. When you're ready, you can reach, lift up that lower leg, reach through, thigh easier, shin harder. Again, check to make sure we don't have, and I know not everybody has a mirror to look at, but your chin is not higher than the forehead. If that's the case, then we have our pillow or towel or something that helps support the head, and it brings it more in alignment. All right, let's lengthen out that bottom leg. All right, if you are flexible, give me a flex. Stretching that heel toward the ceiling. Draw it in a little closer. Shoulders are down. All right, bend the leg, cross. We have our weighted spine twist. Lengthen before you go into your twist, looking the opposite direction. As you inhale, again, elongate the spine and let those legs go with gravity and deepen your twist. It should feel nice. Good. On your next exhalation, bring it back towards center. Tuck your knees in. Let's do a little circling of the hips. Grabbing the tops of the knees. This can be done a couple of different ways. You can just do it in opposition. I think this is kind of fun where we go in opposite directions. It's like you're drawing little half circles. A little more coordination, a little tougher. All right, hold it center, tuck your knees in. Grab the top of your shin, tuck your chin slowly, lift up the head, neck, and shoulder. All right, we've done this before, so grab your hand on your shin and your shin into your hand, and you're gonna lift up and make your spine like a rocking chair leg, okay? All right, and then just start gently rocking. Inhale and exhale. Start taking it through a greater range of motion. Trying to keep the space between the forehead and the knee constant so we're not doing this, okay? Because that might get your nose broken. When you can, get to your balance point. Inhale, exhale up or reverse it. Exhale and inhale. Just go what feels natural for your body. Adding on just a little bit, I want you to cross the ankles. You get to your balance point, switch. If you'd like to add a little challenge, switch it twice. Forces a little pause there. Last one. And let's go to a nice seated position. Sit up tall. I like this open diamond position. Just like we started off at the beginning of class, we're going to take a big stretch up. And melt one arm down. You can go right on the floor and do a little lateral flexion, alternating. This is called mermaid. This can be done several ways, certainly with our legs crossed. Keep going. I'm going to show you some leg patterns. You can have your legs crossed. I don't really like that one. My favorite is open diamond or what we call Z-sit. Okay? If you like the Z-sit, try that, and then certainly both sides. Anchor that opposite hip. This is the tough side. The leg that goes back, it wants to lift. Keep it anchored. One more to each side. Good. All right, let's go back to our seated posture. Big stretch up. Curving the spine, grabbing whatever's down there, shins, calves. If you'd like to draw your heels in a little closer, bringing your forehead towards your feet, here's another little challenge. You can reach underneath, grab your ankles. I'm not a foot grabber, so I like to grab above so it doesn't involve the ankle joint. Just a little more challenge there. You can also go flat palms. If you look at your belly, it should be away from your thighs. Nice open space there. Feel
Really expansion of the ribs. One more, full breath. Use your hands to walk yourself up. Lengthen your legs if you can. Big stretch up. Forward fold. Take a big breath in. Exhale, slowly melt back up to our seated posture. Roll those shoulders down, arms long. Curve. And slowly peel up one more time. And this time we're just going to hold this. Relax. Let your forehead melt into your thighs. 2 more full breaths, everybody. You can add a flex point for those of you who just feel like it. You can do an alternate. On your next exhalation, use your hands to help you guide yourself up. Do a few shoulder rolls back. And thank you for attending our first day of class online. Great job, everybody. See you next time.